4 rebounders better than Angel Reese in new Unrivaled League. The much ballyhooed Unrivaled Women's Basketball League is now 6 games into its first season as big names like Angel Reese, Brittany Griner, and other stars settle into their roles with their new teams. Reese, who came within shouting distance of becoming the WNBA's 2024 Rookie of the Year before a hairline fracture in the base of her left wrist ended her season, plays for Unrivaled's Rose Basketball Club. The former Louisiana State University Tigers star became the first Unrivaled player to ever be ejected from a game recently, but has otherwise turned in a solid first 6 games of her career in the new league, ranking among its top rebounders. Reese, the WNBA's rebounding queen, is averaging 9.2 rebounds per game for the Rose. That number puts her 5th in the league behind Nafisa Collier, Brianna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, and Derica Hamby. Reese has averaged 10.3 points per game along with 1.3 assists so far during her off-season WNBA sojourn, rebounding nicely from 2024's late-season injury. The Rose are set to take on Brianna Stewart's Mist squad this Friday at 8:15 p.m. as the 3-on-3 Basketball League's first season continues to turn heads. The game will be broadcast on TNT in Medley, Florida's Wayfair Arena 3 days before the league's one-on-one tournament begins at the same location. Recap: now an undefeated 7-0 in Unrivaled. Will Lunar Owls ever lose? The weeks keep stacking up, and so do the wins for Lunar Owls, as they cruise past Phantom to begin Week 4 action. Friday's pair of Unrivaled games were not close. Lunar Owls defeated Phantom 94-76, and Rose defeated the Mist 71-63. The Lunar Owls are now 7-0, and far and away the best team in this inaugural season. Rose is beginning to establish, now just 1 game under 500. Lunar Owls soar to 7-0. Lunar Owls wasted no time controlling the tempo and pace of this game against Phantom. After a Nafisa Collier 3-pointer, they jumped to an 11-7 lead. Sabrina Ionescu and Brittany Griner continued being a productive duo for Phantom, closing the gap down to just 1 point with 2 minutes left in the first. However, Lunar Owls were a combination of good and lucky during the closing minutes. Shakira Austin scored the last 4 points for her team, including a buzzer-beating tip-in to enter the second up 32-26. In the second quarter, Satu Sabally and Katie Lou Samuelson both became a bit more active offensively, and Phantom started building momentum. Sabally cleaned up the glass, and after a Samuelson bucket, the lead was back down to 4. Phantom then ended the half with Griner and Natasha Cloud scoring back-to-back baskets, and were down by just 1 point at the break. In the third, the tides changed permanently in Lunar Owls' favor. They went on a 13-0 run and led 77-60. During this stretch, Skyla Diggins-Smith found her groove and scored 8 points, leading 83-68 entering the fourth. Only an epic collapse by Lunar Owls could flip this result. No such event occurred, and they added a 7th of a lead to their win column. Alicia Gray led the team in scoring with 23 points on 7 for 12 shooting, and Collier scored 20 points and grabbed 6 boards. For Phantom, Griner was their player of the game, scoring 23 points along with her 5 rebounds. Reese, Rose blossom against Mist. In the second game of this doubleheader, Rose got their win thanks to a very efficient 15 points from Azure Stevens. She went 6 for 9 from the field and scored the game-clinching basket over her Los Angeles Sparks teammate Ricka Jackson. Kalia Copper was the team's leading scorer with 21 points, and Angel Reese was queen of the boards with 12 rebounds. In the defeat, Jackson led the way with 17 points, but the team's 3-point shooting was awful. They went 1 for 10 from deep. A team can't shoot that poorly from 3-point range and expect to win any games. This contest was one of the best Reese has had. She was so dominant inside during the opening minutes, cleaning up the glass and putting the ball back in the rim. Midway through the first, she had Rose up 10-4. They were up 23-14 against Mist at the end of the quarter. Dejanette Carrington tried to get Mist scoring going to start the second period. Aaliyah Edwards then had a nice basket at the 154 mark. Free throws by Breanna Stewart and Jackson then kept Mist's deficit under 10 points by the end of the half. But similar to Phantom in the previous game matchup, Mist had a scoring drought in the third that eliminated their chances for victory. Rose went on a 7-0 run and was back up by 13. A single-digit run might not seem like much, but considering these are 7-minute quarters, and the fourth is based on the winning score, this type of drought really backs a team into a corner. Rose was ahead 60-47 in the fourth quarter and played just good enough to win. Mist were far better in this frame, but with a huge lead, Rose was able to close things out with some